The
first light of dawn
Savanna
spread across the
awakens
African
as the
dry
sun
woodland.
kisses the
land was
horizon,
neither lush green
beginning
nor
another
completely
day
barren.
in this
Small
ancient
patches
landscape.
of dry grass covered the dusty ground, while scattered acacia trees, thorny bushes, weathered rocks, and a few shallow water holes stretched across the landscape. A warm breeze carried fine dust through the air as distant zebras, antelopes, and giraffes slowly began their day.
Kito,
Above this
the
peaceful
martial
wilderness
eagle,
flew a tiny
glides
red-billed
effortlessly
oxpecker
above the
named
semi-dry
Kito,
African
searching for the
woodland.
giant
He
animals that would
scans
become
the
both his
ground,
home and a
searching
source
for
of
large
food.
animals.
Kito was no larger than a person's hand, but he possessed remarkable eyesight. Circling high above the woodland, he carefully scanned the ground for movement. Soon he spotted a massive African buffalo named Barrow walking steadily through the open grassland. Barrow's thick, dark hide was covered with ticks, biting flies, and other tiny parasites that had attached themselves overnight. Kito folded his wings and glided gracefully downward before landing softly on the buffalo's broad back. Barrow barely reacted. He had known many oxpeckers throughout his life and understood that the tiny bird brought relief from constant irritation. The moment Kito landed, his busy work began. He hopped across Barrow's shoulders, neck, and side with incredible speed. Using his sharp red beak, he carefully picked large ticks hidden beneath the buffaloes. Coarse hair. Each parasite became a nutritious meal. Kito worked patiently, searching every fold of skin where insects prefer to hide. Whenever Barrow flicked his tail or walked through thorny bushes, Kito simply adjusted his balance without flying away. Years of evolution had made the little bird an expert rider, perfectly adapted to life on the backs of giant mammals. As the morning grew warmer, Barrow wandered toward a muddy waterhole where several other buffaloes rested. The calm pool reflected the pale blue sky while dragonflies skimmed across the surface. Kito flew from one buffalo to another, inspecting each animal for fresh parasites. Every giant carried hundreds of tiny insects, feeding on their blood. To the buffaloes, these parasites caused pain and sometimes dangerous infections. To Kito, they were breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Nature had created an unusual partnership where one creature's problem became another creature's survival. Suddenly, the peaceful morning changed. A cloud of biting flies descended upon them, herd buzzing loudly around their faces and ears. The buffaloes shook their heads and stamped their feet, trying to chase the insects away. Kito immediately became even more active. He darted from the buffalo's forehead to its ears, snapping up dozens of flies before they could bite deeply, although one tiny bird could never remove every insect. His constant effort greatly reduced the number of parasites bothering his enormous companion. Barrow remained much calmer because of his small feathered helper. By midday, the African sun burned brightly above the dusty woodland. Heat waves shimmered above the earth as most animals searched for shade beneath scattered acacia trees. Barrow rested quietly while chewing his cud. Kito used the peaceful moment to clean and arrange his feathers carefully. Healthy feathers were essential because they allowed him to fly quickly between hosts whenever danger appeared. After grooming himself, he continued searching through the buffalo's thick fur, finding hidden ticks near the legs, under the belly, and around the base of the tail where insects often escape notice. Not every moment in the woodland was peaceful. Suddenly, a hungry African lion appeared from behind a cluster of thorn bushes. The buffalo herd immediately became alert before the buffaloes even noticed the predator clearly. Kito had already taken flight. From above, he gave loud warning calls while circling nervously over Barrow's head. Hearing both the bird's alarm and seeing the approaching lion, the buffaloes gathered tightly together, lowering their powerful horns toward the danger. Realizing the herd was fully prepared to defend itself, the lion decided the hunt was too risky and slowly disappeared back into dry woodland. Once the danger had passed, Kito calmly returned to Barrow's back as though nothing had happened. During the late afternoon, Barrow traveled slowly toward another grazing area where fresh patches of dry grass grew after recent light rains. Kito remained close beside him all day. Whenever the buffalo stopped to eat, Kito searched for more parasites. Whenever Barrow walked, the little bird enjoyed a free ride across the African landscape. Occasionally, Kito flew to a nearby rhinoceros or giraffe for a quick meal before returning to his favorite buffalo companion. Living on giants allowed him to find food almost everywhere without wasting precious energy searching the ground. As the golden evening light spread across the woodland,
the herd gathered
long
as the
shadows
sun
stretched
sets,
over the dusty earth.
guided by
Birds
Barrow,
returned to their nesting places,
a tranquil
while the
moment
buffalo
in
herd
the
gathered
African woodland.
together for the
As
night.
the golden
Kito
light
flew onto the
fades,
highest branch of a nearby
Kito
acacia tree,
settles on
overlooking
the highest
Barrow
branch,
and the rest of the herd.
watching
From there,
over the
he
peaceful
watched the
herd
peaceful scene.
below.
Today he had eaten hundreds of parasites, helped keep a giant buffalo healthier, and even warned the herd about approaching danger. Tomorrow, with the first rays of sunrise, Kito would once again leave his perch, searching the African dry woodland for another giant companion in this remarkable land where neither the smallest bird nor the largest mammal could thrive completely alone. The tiny oxpecker and the mighty buffalo prove that survival often depends on cooperation, trust, and one extraordinary partnership shaped by nature over countless generations.